Hi everyone, my name is Alex and I help organize a hackathon called Random Hacks of Kindness, and the organizers very kindly given me a few minutes to just explain what we are and why you should come and what you get out of it and all that stuff. So what is it? We do weekend hackathons every 6 months all around Australia, Melbourne, Brisbane, Bendigo, Western Sydney, and Sydney City. So charities, social enterprises, non-profits, they all come with technical problems. Usually they need to be resolved with websites or apps, or sometimes it'll be kind of a bit more like social media or marketing. Usually it's around a technical kind of issue though. And one of the big differences between us and other hackathons is that it's not really about what you do on the weekend and what you achieve and winning a prize or anything. It's all about actually having some effect on the world. So we encourage teams to kind of stick together afterwards, keep meeting up. We'd support that. Sometimes a team will come back for the next hackathon in another 6 months, pick up more people, do more stuff, kind of bite off another bit of the problem, solve that, and kind of keep iterating. So stuff that we've done, this is kind of like I tried to get a representative sample, so these aren't all like perfect happy stories, but they sort of give you an idea. So this one is Chiffre. It's from Melbourne, but they actually were kind enough to make a YouTube video, which saved me from doing a live demo, which is nice. So this is all about giving refugee women access to information on reproductive health. So it was an interesting kind of UX challenge as well as a technical challenge. So as you can see, there's a lot of kind of big icons because the people who use this might not have great English, they might not have great technical skills. And so this has been deployed, it's all live now. They're continuing to iterate on it in Melbourne. Watch Me Grow, this is one that I worked on personally, so it's very dear to my heart. This is a app that allows parents to take these online questionnaires, and then those are scientifically developed to help to detect developmental problems early in childhood. So the idea is that you kind of do these really simple questionnaires, and then it will come instantly with an outcome saying everything is normal, but come back in a year and do this again, or do a different one again, obviously. Either that, or it'll say you need to go see a pediatrician, there might be a concern, it's probably fine, but still do it. And then there's a reminder system that reminds them to come back when they need to. This is quite a cool one because it's actually a research project. We're helping a professor of psychology at UNSW with this one. So it's completed its pilot round, and now it's kind of just starting being used. So there's a number of preschools around Rockdale that are using it, and a couple of GP offices as well are kind of giving it to their patients on iPads when they're waiting for doctor's appointments. So that's going quite well. Our Big Kitchen, this is an example of something where it's a bit rockier. There's problems that need to be solved. So Our Big Kitchen is a kitchen that operates in Bondi. They do food for homeless people. So it's run by this rabbi and his family and a whole lot of volunteers. And the idea of this app that got built for them was that it would coordinate their volunteers. So all of their volunteers can kind of log on and say, oh, corporate event, that sounds good, I'll volunteer for that. They've done a really good job of building the app, but people still don't like it. There's some UX problems to iron out. So these guys are going to be coming back for the upcoming hackathon, which is, yeah, we hope they'll get there, because this is one of those examples of where tech goes really well, but then you kind of forget about the UX along the way, even though I think it looks quite nice. But, effective altruism. This is an example of just what you can do in a weekend and really have an impact. So this was a complete weekend project, like from Saturday morning to Sunday night. Kind of just effective altruism. Effective altruism is a movement to give money effectively. A lot of you would have heard of it, but Effective Altruism Australia is a registered charity in Australia that helps distribute the money. So you can do stuff like give money to them, and then they will pass it through to like the Malaria Consortium, even though the Malaria Consortium are too busy to register as a charity in Australia. And so what that team did was, just before Christmas, they did a whole bunch of work on their website, just kind of adding a videos page, adding this impact calculator, which tells you how many mosquito nets you can buy with $500. And this site helped them raise like $50,000 or so, or just over that Christmas period. So technical skills can have a massive impact if they're applied in the right place and at the right time. Why should you come? What's in it for you apart from fuzzy feelings? You'll learn quite a lot. I think hackathons are a good way to learn about kind of doing stuff in a small amount of time, but Random Hacks of Kindness, I feel, is a step above that because it's so much more real. You're not like kind of at some corporate hackathon where a company said, hey, we've developed a new API, come and play with it, and then we'll give you a phone maybe if you win. These are all real problems, and they're really going to have a massive impact if you can solve them. And so you really get a different perspective on how to think about kind of designing a solution or what a real problem is. And it's really hard to kind of learn that without having that first-hand experience. So you really start to think, do you really need this thing that you're telling me you need, or would your problem be solved by this other thing? So if you're into, particularly if you've got ambitions to kind of go into startups and that kind of thing, this kind of learning this kind of thinking is really, really helpful. It's lots of fun. Every hackathon says that, but I mean it. I think in particular, I don't actually like hackathons normally because like you kind of get there and then you work really hard on this solution and then the prize goes to someone else and you're disappointed. Whereas this, like Random Hacks of Kindness, it's not competitive. There is a winner, but all they get is they get their name on a trophy, the team name on a trophy, not even individuals' names. So it's not exactly high stakes. So there's a real kind of feeling of community, and you're all getting together, you're all helping out, everyone's collaborating, and it's just a really nice place to be for a weekend. I said that apart from warm fuzzy feelings, but also warm fuzzy feelings, everything that we do at Random Hacks of Kindness is all for something, which is really important for us technical people, I think, because I don't know about all of you, but a lot of what I've done in my career hasn't really helped the world at all. Like I worked on the Foxtel TV guide, and maybe that made people find their TV shows quicker, which is good, but it's not exactly providing mosquito nets for children in Africa like that effective altruism thing was. So I think especially now with like every week some story comes up in the press that pummels tech as an industry, like this Facebook thing recently, and it's really good to have the opportunity to use our skills and then do something really, really good and actually, and pretty much anyone in this room, if you go and volunteer like in a soup kitchen or something, that's really good, but your value as a tech person is so much better. Like if you went and contracted for some of these charities, that would cost them so much money. So if you give that away for free, then you're doing so much more. So that's an important factor. Why do we need you? Pretty much because it's really hard. I've given you some examples of stuff that's kind of worked, got off the ground, but a lot of the time, whatever statistic it is about software projects succeeding, it's like 50% fail. That doesn't get any easier when everyone is a volunteer and they've got a weekend free. And what really kind of lets these little turtles kind of make it to the water and, like have you seen the David Attenborough documentaries where there's a lot of little turtles running towards the beach and then David Attenborough comes along and he's like, only one of these turtles will survive. That's what Random Hacks of Kindness feels like, especially when we have a lot of well-meaning people without technical skills. So getting people like you who have really good technical skills, that makes the difference. And so we would really love to see you there. So join us. There's an info night, which is where the change makers, the charities and so forth will come along and sort of explain their projects and then teams form around them. That's on Wednesday, May 23. The hackathon weekend itself is on June 2 to 3. Both events are right here, so you've got no excuses for getting lost. You already know where it is. You can, if you want to come along, please RSVP on our meetup page. You can just Google Random Hacks Sydney even, and then it'll come up. Or if you've got any questions, come and talk to me. Oh, actually, does anyone have any pertinent questions now? If you've got personal questions, come and talk to me after. No, cool. All right, also if you're really into it, I've got a whole bunch of posters that you can go put in your workplace and then kind of bring everyone from your work, bring your whole team. make it a competition, you know, like whose company can be the best. Yeah, so come along, it's lots of fun, do some good for humanity.